So, yeah, obviously I have colored my hair. It's just toner because, well, at least toner goes away a little bit after a while and you don't get like a bunch of blonde hair just growing out and I look like I'm super old. But either way, some of you might wonder, what is even asexuality? Some of you might wonder, why am I talking about it? And other people be like, oh, yeah, I get why you're talking about it. But I am gonna start with a little bit of an unboxing, just because this is the reason why I am talking about it in this video. So, yeah, congratulations, you're part of the world's biggest social experiment. So, for some people, most likely new ones, they don't know this, but I do want to be a social scientist when I grow up. So obviously when I saw the fact that you could be part of a really big social experiment, obviously I picked it. It's called the pair ring. For 3 rings in 3 sizes. You get, well, obviously you get the 3 rings in 3 sizes for like 300 Swedish crowns, aka around like $30. There are 2 colors. If you're straight, you get a mint one. If you're LGBTQIA+, you get a purple one. So for me, I don't like the fact that it's like either you're straight or you're not, because like, well, I do want a boyfriend, you know? That's what I want. But since I am the whole LGBTQ yada yada, I grew up saying only LGBTQ, so that's what I am most comfortable saying, even though I know it's IA+. But either way, like, when I grew up, I was so stuck on that I wasn't a lesbian, but because I was a huge tomboy, I also got like, oh, what if people think that? So obviously, straight or not, it gives a little bit of, will a girl try and like flirt with me? But either way, yeah, you can just go into pairing.co. I actually follow them on Instagram because I find them to be quite interesting. But we have a fact from Vogue magazine. 76% of people are open to being chatted up in real life, yet singles only approach someone they fancy IRL only once every 2.4 years. And mission is to remove the need for dating apps, together by putting a pairing on every single person's finger. Yada yada yada. The opposite of an engagement ring, for the first time ever, designed for every single person. Add a pair emoji in your social media bios to show that you're single and open to DMs. We're pairing in a bar, on a plane, at the gym, on a train, at work, walking the dog, at a wedding, in a club, on the metro, ordering a coffee at the office, having a haircut, going for a run, playing tennis. Your single adventure starts here. Time to put it on. Select the right size ring for you and gift the other 2 for your single best friends. So I could do that, and I will put like the pair emoji thing. But, oh, there are it's very plastic. So these are the soft plastic ones. But like, yeah, I could give one of these to my best friend. Actually, I think I will, because Whenever we meet, you will get the small one because I have quite wide fingers. So they don't so the small one doesn't actually fit me. But I know she has like small ones, so small fingers compared to mine that are like huge AF, and I'm here crying because like I don't want to. I mean, okay, that's kind of cute. But either way, so this pairing is a social experiment where you wear this pairing, and obviously, as I said that they had in this description, you put a pair emoji in your bio. This is to stop the need for like a bunch of dating apps. Because I don't know about you guys, but I actually tried dating app for 2-3 months. It didn't work that well for me. Because even though I didn't use Tinder, it was still a lot like, oh, what is asexuality? Oh, you don't feel sexual attraction? You don't want to have sex? And obviously, like, I talked to a guy for like, I don't know, at least 2 weeks, and then he just ghosted me, so but yeah, I do want to show people that I am interested in being in a relationship, but I am too afraid to be the one that just goes up and asks and make it super awkward in case they are in a relationship and I'm there like, oh, well, I found you attractive and would like to get to know you better, but it turns out and as I've understood that is quite normal today with all social media and stuff, that people are kind of afraid to, like actually walk up, and people are actually afraid of being rejected. I have understood that from social media. That can be completely wrong, but that's how I have understood the majority of people that are on the internet regularly. But yeah, now we're going to get into what this video is actually about. Asexuality. So, first of all, asexuality is actually just a sexual orientation where you don't feel sexual attraction. And, well, obviously, I have lost myself. I'm so sorry. I have a migraine today, so that's why I'm like, ugh. Because I have a script, but it's still like, ugh. Okay. Asexuality, you don't feel sexual attraction. Obviously, some people aren't against sex. You can still wanting to have sex for you think it feels good. You do it because you want to be closer to your partner, all that kind of stuff. So, in asexuality, when it comes to what you think about sex, is actually up to you. For example, my best friend, she is sex repulsed. She does not want to think about it, she doesn't want to hear about it, she doesn't want to do it, disgusting, gross. For me, I am indifferent. Like, I get that the act can feel good, but it's also just an action to me. It's something you do. Like, you sleep, you run. So for me, I don't really understand the whole why you should do it, Like, yeah, it's a thing you can do and I guess it feels nice, but like, come on, you can also just spend time with each other and enjoy each other's company. But one thing I have learned from being online in the normal section and in the asexual section of the internet is that some people that are allosexual, which is the name that the asexual community gives to people that aren't on the asexual spectrum. So for example, both straight, gay, pan, all that go under allosexual, other sexuality. Because, well, from what I know, there are 5 types of attractions. The first is a Platonic attraction. Because if you, for example, like your friend, that is a form of attraction, but it is a Platonic one. You just want them in your life, you want to spend time with them, but you don't want anything else to do with them, you know? Like, you just want them to be there in your life. And obviously that's often what you feel towards your pets and, siblings, parents, all that. You want them in your life. And since asexuals don't have asexuality, what you usually prefer is then called what you're attracted to romantically. And in that spectrum of romance, there is also aromantics. Those are people that don't really feel romantic attraction. The romantic feelings, they don't really happen. Obviously you can, some psychologists think that asexuality is depression, but I don't think that. But I do think that romantic attraction can be, if you're aromantic, it can be combined with other things. But I would definitely say that there are some legit things in it. And for aromantics, they can get something called a squish. So you know how you have a crush, you want romantic sexual attraction, you want them to be your partner. Well, aromantics can get a squish, which is a platonic crush on someone because they want them to be their friend. Like when you see someone interesting with like the same interest and you like you want them to become your friend. Like really bad, be like, oh my god, there is another one that likes that game. Oh my god, they seem super cool, I want to be their friend. That's a squish. And it's often used in the aromantic community. And I had an idea, but I lost it. It was something with... Yeah, so I got it back. Asexuality is a spectrum. Like you have allosexual, over here we say, and here you have asexual. Somewhere in here there is 2 major ones. So you have demisexual, which is you need to be comfortable and know the person well, and then you can get sexually attracted to them. Obviously, I don't really understand that. I don't. Because for the longest time I thought that was normal, but I don't really understand where the level comes at, how it works, since I'm not part of it. But other than that, there is also gray sexual, which is a bit of an umbrella word, because you have a bunch of small sections. Obviously, since it's a spectrum, you get the whole way. But gray sexual is if you don't know or don't want to identify anything specific, but it's not completely asexual, gray sexual, or allosexual, you know, like. And if you don't use it as an umbrella, like category, gray sexual is also that sometimes some people, they get sexual attraction a few times in their lifetime. You know, like winning big on the lottery. Like for most people, that happens maybe once or twice in their whole life. You know, and that's also what gray sexual is. It only happens a few times. And I thought I was that to begin with, because I was like, well, I did have a crush on someone. It wasn't actually a crush. It was more the idea of a crush, the idea of being normal. But either way, so platonic attraction is more like the friend, family, pet kind of way. You know, you just want them in your life and nothing special about it. And then we have what I struggled with most during my teenage years, and that is aesthetic attraction. And I know that some people might not know what that is, but for example this. Do you think this looks cool? Is this nice artwork? If yes, you can feel aesthetic attraction to it. You find it really like cool, it looks good. You know? Like it just looks cool. Obviously it's supposed to be official artwork for Final Fantasy 16. So obviously this looks cool, you know? And that is fine. That is just aesthetic attraction. You like the aesthetic of it. You like the look of it. And when I grew up, especially in the teenage years, so my best friend, she didn't know what she was supposed to feel. Which I'm a bit jealous of, because I knew what I was supposed to be feeling. Like all this sexual attraction, I knew from memes and the internet what it was supposed to be. But I didn't feel that. But I knew other people did. So obviously in my friend group, we had a bit of a group between 13 and, well, 15 for me. And it was only me and my best friend that was on the asexual spectrum, even though we didn't know it that back then. But I had this feeling that something was wrong, so I was really trying to explain to people like, yeah, I think that Scarlett Johansson, she looks good, but I don't want her as my girlfriend, I don't want to have sex with her, I just think that she looks good. Because obviously, you can think that something or someone looks good. For example, this artwork. You think it looks good doesn't mean you want it in your bed. And if you want this, if you want to have sex with this, I'm sorry. Please see a psychologist, okay? If you want to fuck an artwork, please seek help. And yeah, during my teenage years, that was the toughest thing, because I didn't know what aesthetic attraction was. I just knew I felt... When I look at people, it's like when I look at paintings. I just think they look good or they don't look good. It has nothing to do with any form of sexual romantic feelings. It's just an observation, it's just objective, you know. Objectively, they are good looking. So obviously I had a huge problem trying to explain something that I didn't know what it was. Like, I had so many issues trying to explain what it was. Because I didn't know what this emotion was. I just knew that other people didn't understand me. Well, at least not in the way where that I looked at people and just saw the aestheticness. Nothing sexual, nothing romantic, nothing like that. I only saw the aesthetic part. And that was actually how I discovered that I was asexual. Because when I turned 16, I actually looked at... I don't remember his name, but on YouTube I spent a day with asexuals. And I was in denial back then. I looked it up. I saw the video and I was like, okay, so... Because asexuality is not something that is based on religion or anything. It's just that your brain doesn't connect, so you get the feeling of sexual attraction. So it's nothing that you can like later come and be like, yeah, no. I didn't feel sexual attraction until that. Like, you might have felt it, but you push it away because of said reason. Why real asexuality is that you're incapable. You're completely incapable of feeling them. But either way, I was 16, I saw the video, I looked up, and it was like, oh, demisexual. Well, I thought that was the normal. Okay, remember that. I thought that you had to get to know a person before you could feel sexual attraction towards them. Because I thought, well, that's why I don't... why I haven't felt like having sex with someone, because they look good. And obviously I talked to my dad about it and he was like, yeah. Like, that gotta be the norm. Fun thing is, he's also on the asexual spectrum. So, I only had myself to compare to others and ask my dad, and he agreed with me, so I thought I was completely normal. Especially with the fact that my friend, she was quite religious, at least back then. I think she still is. But she was like, oh yeah, I thought I could save myself until marriage, but when I got together with my boyfriend, it all changed. So I was like, oh yeah, one day it will come to me. Because for me, I thought that sexual attraction was like winning the lottery. You know, like, it just gonna happen one day. One day a guy will walk in and I will be like, oh my god, yes, let's have sex. I don't know you, let me sex you up. I thought that was basically what was gonna happen, because I thought it will just come to me. But then when I turned 20, so 2 years ago, I saw a meme that was basically, I look at people like I look at artwork. And that made sense to me. Finally, this emotion I've had for so many years, someone explained it with a simple meme. You know, the aesthetic attraction I have felt all these years, but I didn't know what it was. I finally found a meme that explained it. Someone else knew what I was going through. Like, someone else knew what I was feeling and what I didn't have a name for it, obviously. I didn't know anything about it. I just thought it was me, like, being traumatized or something. And then I saw that other people had felt it too. Because I know for you guys this might seem like super weird, but it's like imagining making up a language overnight. No, you just wake up and you just know a language. Obviously you will feel weird, super weird. Am I going crazy? Is it something wrong with my brain? What is happening? And all of a sudden you see someone on the internet speaking the same language that you just got out of nowhere. And you got to know it's an actual thing. That was how it was for me. Like, I had finally found someone that talked my language. Because no one else had an explanation, no one knew anything about it. And yeah, so for me it was the explanation of aesthetic attraction that let me really go into looking through what asexuality actually was. So that was the really huge story with explaining aesthetic attraction. So remember, artworks, they're aesthetic. If it's a good artwork, you can feel aesthetic attraction towards it. And then we have an attraction that probably very many allosexuals or other, just anyone can mix up with sexual attraction, and that is sensual attraction. And to make this the easiest thing ever, as you can see, Kilala here, so soft, like, oh, you know, the softest thing ever. I feel a sensual attraction to this Kilala hat because it's so soft that I want to like hug it, snuggle it, and just drown myself in this nice feeling. And obviously, yeah, my hair, I'm sorry guys, the video is mirrored, it makes me confused. But either way, so obviously people, you guys might understand that feeling, you know, you see a really fluffy pillow and you be like, oh my god, I need to touch it. And then you might actually buy it because it was so soft and you just couldn't let it go. Well, that can also be with humans. Often it is what people called touch-starved. Like someone hugs you and you just be like, oh, I really needed a hug. Well, with sensual attraction, you can be that person, I want to hug them. For example, me with my crush, I wanted to snuggle with him. He was quite tall, so I thought he would be nice to snuggle up under a blanket watching a movie with, since he was so tall. So I felt a sense of sensual attraction to him because I thought he would be nice to snuggle with. Not in a sexual way or anything like that. Just like how you can snuggle up with a dog or a cat, you know, you two sit next to each other, sit close, put a blanket over. And you don't even have to sit close, like, you know, like just relatively close so you actually get a nice feeling. Nice feeling. I don't know how to explain it for you guys that are like, that don't understand the non-sexualizing and things. Like, the nice feeling, you know, the nice atmosphere, comfortable, cozy. You know, yeah, so you feel cozy. Yes. And, well, obviously it's the easiest with pets to feel a sensual attraction. You just, like, you come home, you see your dog, it's extra fluffy, and you just be like, I need that fluff in my life. So, yeah. I hope I explained it somewhat. Because as said, I am not an expert, I am just a normal asexual YouTuber who's trying to explain all of this to you guys. And Well, we're into the next stage, the 4th out of 5 attractions, and this I've already been a little bit in about, and that is romantic attraction. So here I will involve aromaticism, because at first I didn't think that I was aromantic, because I have always dreamed about having a boyfriend. You know, I watch Pride and Prejudice. I don't know how many times I watch it, and I just be like, I want that. I want that in my life. And then we have like my husbandos, you know. Yeah, I got this from my best friend. I want to I thought this was also an opportunity to show it off, you know, like I like it. But I thought like, oh well, you know, I have anime husbandos and all that stuff, so obviously I can't be aromantic. Well, for me it is, because obviously when you like fictional characters, it can never be real. And that can be sort of an escape for aromantics. They like dream away. Because that's for me. Like, I wish I could get the romantic emotions that you're supposed to have and get my Prince Charming. But for me it is that outside of the fictional world, it's only that I like the idea of the romantic feelings. I cannot actually feel them myself from what I have seen so far, but I hope I will. So currently I am calling myself grey romantic, since I haven't felt true romantic attraction to a actual human being, but I hope that one day I will feel them. But I have basically romanticized the idea of romantic feelings. And I think most people get what romantic attraction is all about. That is the emotional part. But I get so pissed off when people talk about sex and romance in the same, like it's the same thing. You're like, yeah, well, you know, sexual attraction is romantic attraction. Like, I get so pissed when people are like, oh yeah, I had sex with this dude, I am in love with him. And I'm like, ugh, no. And that's what I hate most with normal sexualities. Like, they usually can't distinguish between romantic attraction and sexual attraction. Because sexual attraction, which is the 5th one I have, obviously it's your biological factors that starts speaking, you know. Like, it's the genitalia, hormones, make a baby, the fuck ever, you know. That is what is talking, you know. While romantic attraction is only the emotional part. The romantic attraction has nothing to do with how your body works. Like, it has nothing to do with how the genitalia reacts to a person. The romantic attraction is only emotional, while the sexual attraction is also physical. And I really want people to understand the difference between those two, because it makes it so hard for me. Like, being asexual in today's society, which is so not asexual, it makes it really hard to have like a conversation that makes sense for both me and the other person. Because I just sit there and be like, oh yeah, I really want to feel, I really want someone to make me feel romantic attraction. I really want to find a boyfriend. And they'd be like, yeah, well, I had sex with this dude once and I actually think I'm kind of liking him. And I'm like, how does sex have to do anything with the romance? Because I understand that the physical part can lead to the emotional part, but there is still a huge difference between them. Like, you can have sex with someone without any romance, and you can have romance without any sex. Like, it's so confusing. Like, I would love for someone to help me with this. Because as you guys can see now, that I can't come with an example when it comes to sexual attraction. Like, how am I supposed to do that? It's the one attraction I don't feel. I don't feel it at all. I can think that you look good, aesthetic attraction. I can want to hug you, sensual attraction. I can want you to be my boyfriend because I think you're a really nice person. I want you in my life as a partner, romantic attraction. But I can never get the feeling that I want to have you in my bed and do dirty stuff to you. I can never get that feeling as sexual attraction in itself. Then it's more like another idea, because it's not the sexual attraction that I feel. It can be, well, as I said in the beginning, maybe I like the feeling of it. Maybe I imagine we will have a closer bond. Maybe I do it because I like you and I know you want it. Yeah, I would probably not do that, but you know, you can do it. But it has nothing. Sexual and romantic attraction are two different things. I know I am super annoying with this right now, but I'm just so tired of everyone thinking it's the same thing. It is not. It's like people immediately when you say romance, it's like sex. And I'm like, why would sex be anywhere in romance? It has nothing to do with romance unless it's your personal preference. There is nothing natural about sex being involved with romance. Like the sexual act itself is not romantic. It is not. It is romantic because you want it and make it to be romantic. But itself, standing free from everything else, it's not romantic. And this really pissed me off when I actually did a popular literature genre course. I think last summer. Because we had romance. And obviously it was when I had to read It Ends With Us. Oh god, was that 2 years ago? I don't even remember. Okay, either way. And I love the one that was like 1800s inspired. You know, for me it was like they didn't have sex, they didn't kiss, nothing like that. It was like they had to know each other. They had to think the decision through, like, can I actually allow myself to be with the person? How would it affect my whole life? While some of the other ones within the romance was like they had sex and then they got emotional feelings after that. Emotional feelings, romantic feelings after that. And I find it so cheap because I don't think they correlate. But I know that sexual actions usually gives the people a special kind of bond, and some might think or actually evolve it into romantic feelings. But it's so cheap. Like, I prefer non-sexual romance. You know, they think it all through. I actually like enemies to lovers the most because they actually have to think everything through, you know, like, oh my god, I didn't like him, but it's actually that he's nice with this, that's good, that's bad, that's good, that's bad, you know. Like, it gives a little bit more depth to it than normal romance. And now I have been ranting goddamn forever. Oh my god, 40 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. Well, I'm not sorry because I hope people have actually learned something from this. And obviously, if you want to, like, talk to me about maybe you're thinking if you're asexual or wondering a bit about my asexual experience, then that's fine. Just comment down below and we can probably figure something out. But I do want people to recognize that it is a real thing. It has nothing to do with not wanting sex, not having kinks, nothing like that. People can still want to have sex, still have kinks, and be asexual. All that is they don't feel sexual attraction. They can't feel the body responding in a sexual way to any kind of thing. Well, person. Obviously, like, you can still get horny and stuff, but you cannot feel sexual attraction. And yeah, I hope it was actually educational because I really, really want people to get more educated about asexuality, since it's so hard to figure out. Like, example for me, I thought that sexual attraction would just like jump up on me one day and all of a sudden I was normal. Or the fact that for me I spoke an alien language when I was trying to describe aesthetic attraction. But yeah, after 43 minutes I think this video is long enough. So hope you like it. Please subscribe. I mean, you don't really have to subscribe, but I'm a YouTuber, so I would like you to do that. And if you want to see anything, you have anything you want to discuss, just comment down below and let's see what's up. Peace.